Hey all, Hibber here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're looking at Super Mario Party Jamboree on the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you're new to Super Mario Party, well, this is a series of games that you cannot miss. They've been around for 25 years now, starting all the way back at Nintendo 64. So, Jamboree is the latest installment in the series, and in this video here I will primarily show you how to play this game in local couch co-op multiplayer. Alright, first I thought I would just introduce you to the new boards available in the new Jamboree installment in the Mario Party series here, because there's 4 boards available from the get-go, and they're all pretty good. There's one dot in between them, and I'll point that out to you obviously. But Goomba's Island here is my favorite. I think it's really good, and the way the water rises really makes for some very interesting gameplay where you can catch people on islands. Now, the raceway track here is probably the worst of the 4. I don't find it very interesting, and it's a little bit silly, if you ask me. The remaining boards, on the other hand, are really high quality. And like I mentioned, there are 3 secret boards that you have to work a little bit to get. I'll do a video on how to unlock those as well. So that really means that you have 6 really high quality boards in this game, which is probably the best collection there's ever been in Mario Party. So how many people will play? That's your first choice when you want to play a local multiplayer game. Now, since you have a Switch, then you can play as a minimum 2 players, right? If you want to play 3 or 4, you need to buy some extra Joy-Cons. But anyone with a Switch can, like I said, as a minimum play 2 players, which you definitely should be, because Mario Party is a game that works best, or pretty much works only in multiplayer, if you ask me. So you do the usual, setup here. Make sure you split your Joy-Cons off so you have 2, and install the shoulder buttons, and then press L plus R at the same time on both controllers. If you have 3 or 4 players, you just do exactly the same thing. And the Switch itself can be in handheld mode, or it can also be in docked mode. It doesn't matter. So I have 2 players here in this game here. So the guest player, you can link that account to an existing Switch account if you have one, or you can just keep playing as a guest and change the name to something a little bit more interesting than just guest. But of course, linking the account, you probably should do that if you want to keep the stuff you earn in the game, which is a good thing because it will help you unlock new boards, right? So but if you don't have a Nintendo account, or you're just a random person playing, then don't worry about it. After that, you click the ready button. So once everybody's ready, then the next phase comes here, and that is where you actually pick which character you want to represent your player on the board, right? And there's so many characters here in in Jamboree, and these aren't all of them. There's more that you can unlock quite easily. I'll do a video on that as well. But in this case here, we're just going to pick the 2 characters we want to actually play with in this little demonstration here. So player 2, I'm going to choose Toadette, and for player 1, we're going to go with Boo. And this is pretty, standard. They're very popular, these 2 here. So next up, you got to choose how to actually play. And because we are playing local multiplayer here, we're going to go with people nearby. And worldwide, you can only do that in single player anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter. So the classic Mario Party is just one way to play in this new installment here. And you can see there's quite a few things you can choose. But for this video here, I'm going to focus on the classic Mario Party here, and no pro rules. Is going to be the total classic, right? So we're going to pick Mario Party in the menu. After that, you get to pick your map. And remember what I said before about the maps. I think that Rainbow Galleria is 10 out of 10. Roll'em Raceway should be avoided unless you have to play it, right, to get achievements. And Goomba Lagoon is definitely the best of the pick. So we're going to pick that for this game here. Alright, so the next task is to set up our players. Of course, you can just click OK and go on. But in this case here, I want to change the characters, because I always like to play against Wario and Waluigi, because then it's really easy for me to recognize the computer players in the game if I always make it the same 2 or 3 or whatever, 1, depending on how many players I play with, right? Difficulty next. There's quite a few difficulties here, and of course, easy or normal, you should probably pick that in the beginning, because otherwise the computer will absolutely beat you in every minigame. So I suggest normal or even easy if you want to get some easy achievements, right? So speed, I think you should always put that on fast. There's nothing more, annoying than waiting for the computers all the time. So a handicap, if someone's not very good at the game, you can give them a few stars to start off with. Now, unfortunately, you cannot do negative stars. That would have been interesting, because I'd like to give the computer a few negative stars if I could. But unfortunately, that is not the case here, so we're just going to set everybody at 0 to make a level playing field. Alright, so next up we got to set up the game itself. And the main thing you got to worry about here is the number of turns. Because obviously the higher number of turns you go, the longer the game will take. And of course, bonus stars, you want that on or off. Minigame help, you should probably leave that on. And motion minigames, I'm not a big fan of those. I'm going to turn it off for this particular game here. But do keep in mind that the number of turns really matters, because 10 turns is about an hour and a half. 20 turns is about 3 hours, so make sure you got enough time to finish the game. Otherwise, of course, you can just, leave it and come back later. So that's pretty much all the tinkering you gotta do, and after that, you're going to be thrown into the map, and off you go. And the way the game works is really very similar, if not totally similar, to every other Mario Party game out there. You play on your chosen board with your chosen characters. And of course, before you start, you have to roll for initiative, so to speak. No, you gotta roll for the honor of getting to start. And it's as simple as every player taking a turn, and whoever gets the highest number, well, he's the one who starts, or she is the one who starts. So in this case here, Toadette rolls a 9, and she will be the one starting and kicking off this session here. When you're playing local multiplayer here, you can choose to work together as 2 players and, for example, buy items and use them to help either yourself or both players, or all 3 players, whatever you're playing. I mean, it's up to you how you approach the game, but of course, the game is meant to be played in a competitive manner. So buying items, you should use them to annoy both the computers and also your friends. And of course, if you play 4 players, it's totally competitive, right? So that's the gist of the game, really. And as with any Mario Party, unless you play with pro rules, it can get a little bit unfair. Someone getting a very nice power-up, like on the last round, for example, like one of these star traps here, well, that's part of the fun and the game, really. And in the usual Mario Party fashion, each round is finished off with a minigame. And again, in these minigames, you could be working together, you could be, all versus all, or you could choose to work together as 2 human players, for example. Again, it's completely open, you do whatever you want to do, and that's, the allure of Mario Party. It's just so much fun. But like I said in the beginning, make sure you play this game with at least 1 other human, either online or even better, like local multiplay, someone on the couch playing with you with the other joypad, because you already have joypads. You already have 2 joypads, right? So why skip this? Playing Mario Party alone, it's not fun. It's something you do to, skip through the achievements or something like that. And 2, 3, 4 players, really, that's the way to play this game here. Now, of course, like I mentioned in the beginning, there's a few other game modes, and one of them actually supports up to 20 players. But I'll go through that in a different video when we look at the details of the game. So that's how to play local multiplayer on the Switch for Mario Party Jamboree. And if you are just a slight fan of Mario Party, you should definitely purchase this game, because it is, without a doubt, the best Mario Party out there. The boards are the best, and even the bonus boards are excellent. And 2 of them are even from the old Mario Parties. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there.